Welcome back to this live session Thursday for this invoice session. NFP week, guys, ready for another big trading week as first session of the day, looking at here in this market for potential trading opportunity. As on Thursday we saw that yesterday's after two important news, the market slowly after this pullback on gold and other currencies slowly building up momentum for potential another bounce back to the upside. Here gold, we saw that there was a bullish pressure has come out again from this important support level, and we could see the market potentially continue to trend back here. We saw that there was quite a few stronger liquidity sweep along this zone here on gold, and we can see the market is currently maintaining an uptrending market structure. Here is the 4-hour price action that on gold I'm looking at potential entry here, waiting for the market to potentially break that low, and we might see that potentially an entry opportunity here in that area, that we can see the price slowly building that momentum back below here on the lower time frame, and at this level at 3875 we might be able to find an entry. As we see just now, the market is breaking out of the structure here, and that breakout is important to see that the market is coming down here for a potential trading opportunity here in this market. So coming to potentially to this order block on gold, if you look at the 4-hour chart, after creating this today's new high, the market from this daily low got that rejection back above early. This is the daily price action that for the first time today we saw the market has triggered that outside that massive amount of liquidity, as there was a daily low is broken here in that area, and with that daily low to be broken, the market is potentially preparing for a possible upside movement back to the major direction of the trend. This is the 1-minute chart. Here we saw a significant bullish trend slowly move back here in the major direction of the trend. So this is where that we can see the market is potentially coming back here, where the price is approaching that key level of support in that area. So this is where the market is currently trying to build that momentum back above. So are you guys ready for a potential entry from this key level of support as we trade based on the market structure, based on liquidity, and based on price action? From the 4-hour chart here, that you can see the price currently approaching that support level. And before we look at further, traders, make sure you give a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. Press the notification bell so you are not missing any of the content that I'm posting every day. So let's begin here to see that where the market is possibly heading in this in this uptrending market structure. We might be able to find an entry with a proper breakup structure. You can see it's after this break below, it's trying to build that momentum in that area. 5-minute chart, here is also you can see the breakup structure from this lower time frame support level. This is the 1-hour price action here, that the market is building that momentum back above. So if you look at here, this is the liquidity zone, previous resistance line here. The price has penetrated that above to this resistance, and the market has started to break that low in that area. So where do we look for our next entry? In this zone here that I'm looking at for a potential entry from this 4-hour support level. So if we look at the 4-hour level, this is the 4-hour support, and the lower shadow of this 4-hour candle is nearly 235 pip. If we look at the halfway for an entry in this market, that could be an important zone that you can look for possible entry for this market to retest and then to potentially reject back above to the major direction of the trend. As it is a bull market, we see that breakout structure. This is the previous swing low, and there is an order block here as well that you can see the market may try to retest. So where we are looking at here, this candlestick pattern to be retested. Let's wait to see where the market is possibly to be heading. There is a downside here, and are you going to look at that entry from this level or from this level? As it's getting rejection from this key resistance line, with this movement here to this level, we will see the price will be moving on almost 143 pip downside if the price drop to that key support level. From the 4 hour, the session's low is here, and as this is NFP week, we saw that there was a significant bullish move. If we look at the daily, also we can see the market is approaching that daily level. So, and the market trend here currently in a breakup structure. This is what we are looking at for a breakup structure, for an entry opportunity here in this market. This is a move that you can see on gold coming back below to this intraday support level. Are you guys ready for this move here? As this market is breaking from the structure, waiting for this market to possibly come back below here to this key area, and below this level also there is a fair value gap. Now, is the market is coming to directly hit that fair value gap, or we will see the rejection from this level? This is what we need to look at here currently in this move on gold. The possible break below here could be to this order block, as there was a double bottom, a complete breakout, and the market now currently breaking out from this trend here in that area. And trading fair value gap is very important to look at when we are looking at this kind of breakup structure in the market. So as 4 hour level is here, and from the intraday low, once the market is able to test that intraday low, this 4 hour support, we could see the market to potentially from this intraday retest of this low, that the price to bounce off that level to create a new higher high in this market. Where are we looking at for an entry? As we can see, guys, this is the 5 minute chart, and where the market has broken to this key support level, and intraday support here as well. This is where the 4 hour open and close of this current candle, and where also the 30 minutes 20 EMA and the 10 EMA in that area. There is a breakup structure on the lower time frame. What's your thought on that? Where we are looking at here in this market? Welcome to this live session. As the market is breaking from that high, long-term picture that you can see, the market is approaching that key level of support where also you can see some upside momentum on dollar yen. We'll be looking to see the price to retest and then potentially to reject from this lower time frame price action. Now, we would like to see the fair value gap on the lower time frame. If you look at the 1 minute chart, where do you see the fair value gap to the upside here in this market? This is the 5 minute chart, and you can see it's a complete break below. Let's find out the fair value gap so that we can trade that fair value gap once the market is managed to bounce off this level. If the market is breaking out from this level, you'll see that potentially the price to bounce off that zone and to complete this fair value gap back to the upside here to create a potential upside momentum. Getting some rejection from this low. Now this breakup structure, is this giving the market a new momentum? This zone that you can see on gold is possibly to return again back above. So from the 4 hour, we can see the price is coming back to this support level. And we'll be using a pending order from this zone. If the market breaks above here, breaking that high could give us an entry opportunity in that market to fill this imbalance here. This is where the fair value gap. So we will be trading this fair value gap to the upside from this high here. And this is the high. So we can look for in this market to have nearly to 63 pip fair value gap. Are you guys ready for this trading that fair value gap? And we will be using here in that fair value gap to trade this move with buy stop. Okay, so if the market breaks that high on the 1 minute chart, if you look at, this is where there is a fair value gap, and we will be placing our stop loss below this structure to take this move. So it will be around 57 pip stop loss here. We'll be placing in that area a buy stop for taking this move back to the upside. We will take the first target at this level and we will hold the half position for bigger move back to the upside to create a potentially new higher high, and the next move that you will be taking at the previous swing high in that area. So that being said, here I'm placing a buy stop in that area on gold. If the market bounce off that level, we will be trading that fair value gap. Xauusd buy stop, placing at 3885. So placing buy stop for this potential upside bias here after this breakout structure on gold in that area. And as this market is significantly long-term bull market, waiting to see that gold having an upside bias in that area to create a new higher high in this market long with a pending order at 3885.31, stop loss at 3879.61, and TP target placing at 3895.14. This is a TP1. We will be placing bigger TP target later once the market able to give us that suitable entry here in this market. Place that buy stop here on gold, and wanting to see the market to potentially reject back from that level. If we see the price is bouncing off that level, this is where our potential entry. As we can see, it's getting some liquidity from the top. It still could break below here. Now if it breaks below, we are not on the trade. We want to trade this fair value gap in that market. If the price is bouncing off that level, we are on the trade. Are you ready with me for this pending order? We place that buy stop where the market is not a buy limit, it's a buy stop. So if the price the market breaks above, going above to that level, that's a fair value gap, and we will be entering to the trade for this potential upside move to this key level of resistance. If the market breaks below here, we still could see the market to drop down to the even to the daily low. In that case, we are not on the trade. If you guys enjoying the live session that we are doing every single day, make sure you like this stream and also subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done yet, press the notification bell so that you are not missing any of the content that I am posting every day. Now, are you going to see that the hit here? I think we could see that potential upside move in that area, which could lead that market back above. And we're getting the upside here. We might get a trigger very soon. I'm still not on the trade and expecting it to potentially bounce off that level. Okay, we are on the trade. My trade is active here. The buy stop is active, and we are going into some profit area here, expecting it to bounce off that level. And so we are entering into some profit zone here, expecting it to bounce off that level. It could still break below, and we do the full risk management, which is very important to look at. Here, would like to see the market to bounce from that level to decent number of pip that we would like to catch in this trade. going up. Cool. 15-16 pip. It's a scalping move, and I'm holding on to that. $18 pip. All right, cool. I'm 25 pip up, and I'll be taking profit right now, 25 pip, and we'll be re-entering, adjusting again. I've taken profit now, and we will be re-entering for another entry. This is a scalping move, so you can enter multiple trades from a key level of support here in this market. All right, cool. That's where you can see some the profit taken here. Now, are you going to see the complete bounce of that level? Let's see that now where the market is possibly to be heading. This is where you guys can see that the market, there was a break of structure, and we have entered from a key level. Right now, what we are looking at here for this market, potentially to bounce off that zone and create a new fair value gap. So this is a trade that we have opened to trade the fair value gap. Right now, we can keep some position open, but I would like to re-enter again once we see the market has dropped to that zone here, and that is the best way that we can take the full move in that direction to take some additional profit in this market. Now, looking at the lower time frame, you can see this is the 1 minute move. What looking at here for the market to potentially drop that low here, grab the liquidity, and then to revert again back above. As we are trading the fair value gap, our goal here is to look at where the fair value gap, where the imbalance is, and then to trade based on that imbalance. Are you guys with me? We had that one here, just beginning for the week, and we would like to see some new entry opportunity here in this market. If you are enjoying the live session with me that we are doing every day, make sure you like this stream and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. So let's look at now where we can find our next entry opportunity in this market. So looking at this market structure, 4-hour chart, this is bullish impulse back to the upside, deleting all those levels, and we will be readjusting again new level for another entry coming up very soon. Give a feedback in the live chat. I would like to see how many members have closed this trade with me. Say yes if you have closed this trade. Thank you very much. Welcome. Goodbye call. Yes, it is now. Welcome. Welcome. Now, what is our next entry? Let's keep the level on. This is where the market is approaching, and we could see that this market potentially to, if we have still 1 hour 19 minutes for this candle to close. Now, if the market is coming back below to, if you look at here, you can see this is a bullish big candle on the 4-hour chart, which is nearly to 1.58 year or nearly to 2.8 year candle, and the price has crossed that low that you can see here. And if we turn on our indicator, we can see that there was a liquidity gap. Now, for those who are using our indicator to find out the liquidity gap, now you can turn on the gold on the 4-hour chart to see that where the liquidity sweep happen. Now if you don't have access to that indicator, then you can, this is the premium indicator for the premium member in the academy, as there is a lesson with it. If you are our premium member, you can ask the admin to give you access to this indicator. The main goal of this indicator is to find out where the liquidity sweep, where the market is getting the liquidity. Now you can see that this buy alert is not only for this move here. If you look at, this is not only for this zone here, this is entirely for the whole move. Now you might think that okay, this is only for this candle. No, this liquidity sweep in fact is giving us a possibility that this market could potentially go a lot, because there is a smart money buying pressure has come in that area, and because the smart money bought in this market, the market is potentially to go a lot in one single direction. This is what we are looking at in this market, to find out where the smart money is going into the market. So we see that on dollar yen as well, the market, we have seen there was a move here, and the market now on a pullback. So it is also getting liquidity potentially for it's on the daily. You can see this is the daily level, and I think dollar yen as well in the same way coming down for that move. We will be coming on this one later, as tomorrow coming up yen news. Now with that yen news, we could see that dollar yen also moving a lot in that direction. So in the meantime, here is what we are looking at in this area, that the price to potentially if you look at here, you can see now it's breaking again back below. So we have taken that move. Now with that move, if you look at, what do we see, that the price is possibly to revert again back in that direction. So you can see it's breaking that low. That means we might find that another potential entry in this market for a possible upside bias. Now either this market could entirely break below, or we could see rejection from this level, which is also possible to have another move back to the upside, as it is a long-term bull market. So we'll be waiting to see what kind of market structure is building up, and based on that we can enter into the trade for each one of these. Now 15 minutes candle closing with a potentially as a doji. Now this doji is important, because if this one is closing as a bullish doji, we could see that the price to bounce off that level, but I think it might have deeper pullback here, and that is important to see. It's quite important to see that how the market structure is building that momentum. What kind of market structure we can see here is that we could see what I think that potentially little deeper breakdown. If that's the scenario that we can see, we might see the market to grab more liquidity, and depending on how the next one is reacting here, are you going to see a weak fill here then to bounce off that level, or you could see that with long two dojis the market to drop back below again to the daily support level. there is a possible break below here in that market, which you could see the market to retest that low to the lower time frame support here in this market. Key support level that you can see the market is approaching that area where there is a liquidity sweep multiple times. There is a potential for deeper drop here in this market. If we look at the 1 hour price action, that there was if you look at this is the 1 hour market structure where the price has formed a deeper pullback, and I think the market potentially could break well below this level for another retest here, and that is where there is a possible for even coming to this order block, and that's where we could find that another entry opportunity for us to see the market is showing up. This is currently in a sideways movement on the lower time frame, but the possible for a break below is higher depending on how this 1 hour candle closing. As this 1 hour candle has a liquidity sweep from the top, there is a possibility for this price to again break below here to create a potentially another bearish candlestick pattern in this market. If this 15-minute candle closing as a narrower doji, not being able to break that high, we might see that potentially breaking the low here, and we could see that in that case possible further break below for a deeper pullback. In that case, we might see the market is coming back to this order block, so we might even to see that short-term selling opportunity in this market. Are you guys ready for another entry here in this zone? That's important to see the 30 minutes price action, how it is closing. If we look at the 4 hour here, it's coming to this intraday support level. We are looking at the 30 minutes here. We can see that this is also forming multiple doji in that area, and if the market is forming that multiple doji, we could see the price to potentially break that low here to create a new lower low. Here's quite a few back-to-back 2 long wick doji here in that market, and this 2 long wick doji is showing the market potentially to break that low here to this support level to create a new lower low in this market. This is what we are looking at, that the market to potentially to build that momentum back above here where there is an important resistance line, and expecting the price to potentially cross that high and then to reject back below to create a new lower low. We see some upside bias, which is from the 15 minutes chart as well, showing that the market may try to break that high. Now, as you can see, the 15 minutes perspective, this is where there is a doji followed by another bullish candle is being formed in that area, which could bring that price back above. And So there's a 30-minute candle close with a long wick candle, and expecting this market to potentially to retest the support level where there is a rejection potentially coming here. So the market has reached a key resistance line here, and what we are expecting that the price to potentially drop for deeper pullback, or we could see that further bounce up in that area. And here the market is approaching that level where there is a potentially for our chart there you can see the price trying to break that high, and okay, so you can see that the price has reached a key level, and expecting that the market to possibly come for a deeper pullback. We have seen there is a bounce of that level after multiple liquidity trigger in that area. So here we might see the market to possibly to go for a bigger move, and We're looking to heading the price move in that area as we're going to see a order block retest here. Alright, so here you can see the market potentially to bounce off the level, or you could see that deeper drop. I think we might see some move here, that looking at the lower time frame price action to see how the market structure is creating in that area. Of course, this level is crucial that the market is at the moment, as there was a double bottom and okay, so here we can see the market has made its move back above in that area, which is potentially in this zone that the price is showing that some kind of momentum. And from the lower time frame we can see there is a doji, as we are looking to see that the market structure, if we look at the lower time frame price action here, where are you going to see a potential bullish bias here? This is what we're looking at in this lower time frame for this market to show up, and we see there is a double bottom and the price is slowly building that momentum back above, and after the 1 hour candle close we see there is a bounce of this level, and we may see that the price to continue to rise back here to create a new higher high in this market. So lower time frame, this market structure showing that we might see the price to cross that high, potentially to create a new higher high in this area. So looking at the 4 hour here, also showing that the market structure is bullish, and with that bullish movement the price is maintaining a position back above here. There is a suddenly a stronger impulse in that area, which could lead the market to potentially trend back above here in that zone. So that being said, lower time frame price action showing that bullish, and we could see the price to raise above to create a new higher high. So for us to enter, we will be looking into a possible buy opportunity, as the market has shown that it is in fact currently in a bullish impulsive move back to the upside on gold, which if we look at the dollar yen, we can see that dollar yen there was a bounce from the 4 hour, and the price now trying to slowly build that momentum back below, which is also showing that on gold that the market to remain upside here in this area. Now looking at the lower time frame price action, which is currently there was a strong breakout pullback and is still maintaining that uptrending market structure, and we could see the price to reach that zone to create a potentially new higher high. And here is the move that the market is showing up to bounce off that level, and the price tested the 10 EMA. We see there is a gap opening and then bounce off this level. So we are looking into that as double bottom and then bounce. We could see this market to trend continue to back to the upside here, and with that movement, as the price is building that momentum back above here, that we are looking at in this market to potentially what I think that to create a new higher high. So with this move, I'm waiting for another entry for another possible bounce of that level, as this is showing that potentially strongly a bullish market structure. We'll take a 1 minute break and we'll come back here for another entry. Are you guys ready for that? Let me know in the live chat if you are. Okay, so you can see there is a initial breakup structure, which is basically what I think the market is building potential momentum for further upside here, and that could lead that market potentially to break that high, as we are seeing that the market structure is still remaining bullish in this area. So we, as this is a bull market, our previous entry also was buy, and we might see that the market to remain bullish here for long-term picture, to create potentially new higher high in this market. So you can see that this is significantly bull market, and in that bullish market, what we are looking at, that the price to remain in that area for bullish for long term. Now here is the lower time frame price action, showing that it is in fact in that direction to create a new higher high. So possibly you'll see that the previous swing high is being broken. If you look at the 4 hour, you can see the previous high was at 3895. So that could lead the market to go a new all-time high at 3900 level, which is potentially a new all-time high. And with that new all-time high, the price may possibly to break that high to create a new higher high. And it's breaking that zone, that showing that possibility to create a new uptrending market structure in that area. Welcome to this live session. Here we are trading the uptrending market structure on gold, and after multiple retest, the market is currently showing up that momentum back above, while we see dollar yen also showing that some movement. Dollar yen, we have seen that initially created a massive bearish drop, and then the price has gone up for a pullback. We might see that potentially return back again to this support level, while gold is after creating multiple liquidity sweep here, the price started to move again back above. And lower time frame price action on gold is still bullish. After this liquidity sweep, the market has made its move back above in that area where the market structure is bullish. And here is the liquidity sweep. We can see the price has crossed that low, grab the liquidity, and potentially breaking that high. If you look at the 15 minutes, you can see that back-to-back 2 liquidity sweep here as well, which is showing that the market potentially to remain upside. You guys ready for, I think this move that you can see could go from the daily that possibly higher, and here is the daily market structure. From this low here, we can see that it made its move back above, and it's almost breaking that daily high in that area, which could bring that price back to the upside to create a new higher high, where the market structure is showing that we could see the price to potentially trend in the major direction. There's a massive rejection from this all-time high. How the market structure is building that momentum in that area. As if you look at here, you can see the market has made its move. There's a breakup structure here in that area, and how the market structure is trying to break that low, and we have seen there is a after this bounce of that level, there is a break below. We see that the price is building that momentum again here. Okay, so there is a breakup structure. If you guys look at it, you can see currently potentially coming to an entry zone from the, if you look at the 1 hour market structure, you can see it's a complete break below. So you could see the price to retest this level here, and that's what we can look for potential another entry opportunity in this market. This is an order block coming up. And we will be re-entering from this level. I'm going to enter potential buy in that area. Okay, so that this breakdown here, will be opening potential buy here, and there's a complete breakup structure. So it's a big drop here. Are we going to see potential bounce of that level? So there is a breakup structure that you can see on the lower time frame on gold, and what I think that breakup structure might be stronger liquidity trigger here. As from the intraday perspective, this is the market, the price is trying to build that momentum, and from the 4 hour, Is this a reversal or a pullback? Okay, so having some reaction from this level, this is a sudden break below, and we'll see that if the market here is this trying to create a new market structure, or you see that this is just a short-term bounce. Okay, so this is a pure liquidity trigger that you can see in that area, and that is where with this liquidity trigger the market started to bounce off that level, and we can see that this breakdown has given new momentum in the market, what I think the price may possibly to revert back again to the upside to create a new higher high. So are you going to look for an entry? Let's wait to see that how the market structure is building in that area, and it might form an inverted head and shoulder. If it is forming inverted head and shoulder, we might see the price to bounce off that level again back above in this zone. So where this is the 1 hour price section, and from the 1 hour you can see the price eventually has got back below in that area. Here's the market structure. If you look at here, you can see it's slowly trying to create a bearish market structure here. And I think, as you can see, after break of this high, it got a liquidity sweep and trying to break that support. So if you look at the 1 hour candlestick close from this high, getting some rejection. Now, depending on how the market is trying to break that support 4 hour level, you can see also the 4 hour candle closed with a long wick candle. Now, before the candle close, we could see that a potential rejection back above here, and that's what I'm looking at in this market for the price to either to revert again back to the major direction, or we could see that deeper drop here even to this order block. So if you look at the 1 minute, here is an order block, and also the 5 minutes chart, that order block that we can see. Which is also aligning with the 4-hour support level. So the 4-hour level is here. So if this before the candle close, we might see a potential break of that low and then to return back again to the upside from that level. We could see that breaking below and then to return back again from that level. So the lower time frame here, we can see a local downtrend. Now this downtrend from the daily as well, that we can see the price has tested the lower shadow. Let's delete all those levels and to see that where the market is coming at the moment. So the 4-hour, the 1-hour price action is also aligning with the 4-hour. It just has broken that lower shadow, depending on how the candle closing. And this is the daily low. This breakdown here could be a potentially entirely a liquidity sweep here. That is what looking at. Looking at this market structure to come back below. Welcome. Okay, so we see that this is a complete break. Now, are you going to look for buy or sell? Will determine now before the candle close how the candle is closing. So if this candle closing as a long bearish rejection from the top, this is the 1-hour candle, and there is a possibility for a little downside and then to reject back again. So if the 4-hour candle close as a green bullish candle, we might see that the next one to fill some of this upper shadow. On the other hand, it is possible that the market to come back well below and then to return again back above here in this market. So that being said, the market here, there is a fair value gap, and which is filling that fair value gap at the moment. Okay, so the 1 minute price action, if you guys look at it, you can see it's trying to have some bullish rejection, but I think because there is a very strong break below, we might see that this market to in fact come back here well, and are you going to look for possible buy opportunity? Now 4 hour, you can see this is a doji, and that doji, the overall, if we look at from here, it's a strongly bullish impulse. And because it's a strongly bullish impulse, what we can expect it to have a possible upside bias. And for us to enter any kind of trade, here I'm looking at the confirmation for an upside bias, as the price has entirely dropped to that order block. Until we see the candle close, we'll not be able to understand. Here is the order block. It might, even after the candle close, to break little further below to this order block at 3868 level, and then to return again back above here in that zone. So some downside momentum potentially coming here in that area, and So here's where you can see the market's trying to show some bearish move here in that zone with this move. Okay, so currently coming to a candle close on the lower time frame, that is showing that the market potentially to break that low here in that area, and that is where the 5 minutes price action also showing that potentially break that low to create a new lower low in this area. With the current session's candle close, we might see that potential downward momentum here in that market. So that being said, we see some bearish move coming potentially after the candle close, that to give us some trading opportunity here in that market. Has got back below in that area, and getting the rejection back above. From the 4-hour perspective, if you look at it, just has crossed this low, and what I think here we might see that gold potentially to break that to the upside here or to the downside, depending on how the market structure is showing. We see that it's a 4-hour candle close with a long doji, and in this long doji the market is trying to build that momentum back here. And there's an order block here, as the market coming to that order block and then getting the rejection back above, depending on how the market structure is creating. There's a gap open on MT4 that I can see on gold. Is this showing that the market may have a reaction back below here? So there is a fair value gap. And with this fair value gap, the price may fill that zone in that area here. higher volatility and showing that the market may remain here bearish for more time. Okay, so this is a complete breakup structure with a fair value gap retest. Are we going to see now a potential pullback for an entry? Now, the way the market structure is building here, that we might see some, what I think, if you guys look at, you can see this is the 15-minute candle, which is a long wick doji. And there is a sharp breakdown here from the 1 minute that we can see it's trying to break that market structure in that area, where the deeper pullback possible from the 4 hour, that if we look at, we can see that there is a big bear candle. The market could come back for a deeper pullback, but what I think ultimately this market could bounce off that level again, because it is a long-term bull market. And here if you look at, you can see that it's trying to create a reversal pattern potential in that area, so that might lead that market to go back up here to create a potentially new higher high. Here is you can see the price is from the 5 minutes chart showing a smaller rejection from the high. So here it is bearish price action. That means might see some further downside. This is the current 5 minutes resistance line, and waiting for this market potentially to retest and then to return again back below. And if the market breaking that 3876 in this 5 minutes candle, could be an opportunity for us to sell this market here to come back further below. So which is showing that there might be further bearish price action here in this market. Okay, so we could see some selling opportunity, wanting to see that it's breaking this high here, and then you could see downside potentially if the market testing that high, and then 5 minutes candle closing at, if you look at the 5 minutes, you can see it's closing potentially as a narrower candle. If it is closing as a narrower candle, as a doji, look at the lower time frame price action, you can see that it's possibly to be bearish here. And if you look at the 1 minute and the lower time frame, you can see this is the 5 minutes price action where a long wick candle you can see it's a long wick doji is being formed on the 1 minute, and that's a rejection back below. The market structure here is bearish, guys. I'm going to open sell from here. We'll be entering by market, keeping stop loss above this high for this potential downside with a 75 pips stop loss to this level. And this is a short-term selling opportunity for this potential drop. It's instant selling opportunity here in this market for this possible drop down. There is a gap open in this market, and I'm waiting for the market to give us some short-term gain here for this possible drop back below, as it is showing that potentially bear market here in this area. So I have opened a sell here for this potential drop down, and expecting it to break below. This is a quick sell opportunity that I'm taking, but with full risk management. Anytime the market go up and again grab more liquidity, as this is the 5 minutes price action, as you can see, it's getting that the market may possibly to break below, and as soon as we see enough profit running, we will be taking the trade out of the market. But here waiting for the market to show up that break below. This is the 5 minutes price action, also showing that potentially bearish move here in this market. So 1 minute price action that we can see a long week, it might even go back up again. So my stop loss well above here for any bounce from that level, so that we can take that market to the direction that we are looking at. And the lower time frame market structure that you can see here is bearish. So I have opened sell position on gold, expecting it this 5 minutes price action to drop down further and then to return back below to the major direction of the trend. So this is the 1 minute also that showing some kind of pullback. Are you guys with me? Sweep open sell for possible downward pressure, as it is bear market, and you can see this is the 5 minutes price action also showing that stronger bearish momentum here in this market. So I'm sell, and as soon as we see enough profit running, we will be taking the trade out of the market. Downside momentum coming. Here is bearish move. Are you guys with me? We are looking for taking some people. This is the second trade that I'm looking at here to potentially secure profit. Here we saw there was a gap open. The market may remain here bearish for a little more time, and that's what we're looking at here in this market, that to see that the market to get that one here. So it's going down, and as soon as I will be securing profit, I will let you know, guys, that we are running currently 45 pip profit running, and I am taking that trade out of the market as soon as we see enough profit running, and I'm closing the trade with 47 pip profit nearly, and I'm out with the trade. Second trade closed with profit. Let me know in the live chat if you enjoy this trade. There's a gap open. The market may potentially drop down here. Let me know in the live chat, guys, if you enjoyed that trade. Here is the move. The market is still maintaining that downtrend. This is how it is, guys. Waiting for the patience, waiting for that trade. Did you enjoy the trade? This is a little, the stronger trade, a little aggressive move. But if you enjoyed the trade, let me know in the live chat. Did you enjoy? Yes. How many traders here enjoyed this trade? Say yes in the live chat. I want to see how many of you have entered this trade here. Welcome. It's still maintaining that downtrending market structure in that area. Welcome. And it's you can see that it's still maintaining the downtrend. So the market may potentially remain bearish further, as we have seen here. It grabbed liquidity, and sometime the market drop a lot in one direction, potentially for second trade that we have secured here, profit on that. And that one is 45 pip. Two trades closed in profit. Welcome. It's still maintaining the downtrend. It still could continue to drop. If you look at the 5 minutes, you can see that it's a big bearish price action and could continue to drop for another potential move back below here in this market. So it's a highly falling market at the moment, and you might see the price to retest this support in that area. That's a big drop. It's a massive breakdown here, and this might lead that price to break that daily low. Guys, that's a massive drop to the daily low. So the price has just tested the daily low, and then now it's the daily low. Didn't fully break the daily low, but the market is trying to push that move to the daily low, and if this market testing the daily low, chances for another bounce back to the daily high is higher. So this is a pure fair value gap below here, and because there is a massive drop down here, chances for another retest of the fair value gap is higher, very higher. And you see that how the market structure is building that momentum here. Most likely you'll see the price to retest this high again on the lower time frame. We might be able to find further entry opportunity. Okay, we might see pullback. It is sort of waiting to see that it's getting for enough pullback before we look for the entry. And there is a support. You can see it's an imbalance here at the moment, and chances that if it breaks that imbalance, we could see the market to come back here to this low, right? Back to back two key support level. Now, if the market is not breaking that imbalance here, you can see it's trying to build some lower time frame market structure that could bring that price to So it is creating a market structure here for potentially to remain downside. Okay, now we look for further entry here. Now this is the 1 minute price action. The market structure is still showing that bearish here after multiple liquidity grab, and as the market structure is showing bearish, we may see that the price to potentially come back below here, and this is a fair value gap. You can see it's building that pressure for possibly break that low. Now if you look at a bigger picture, see that how the market structure has formed. There is a double top, right, and with a right side stronger liquidity trigger. This is the 1 hour market structure. Now this kind of market structure could have unusually bigger drop. This is another way could happen, but I'm not going there yet because this is the 1 hour. If you look at the daily, it's breaking the daily low. But if we see this kind of symptom, the market to have bigger drop, then we will be looking for quite a few positions along the way. Let's stay look at that here. What make this market structure to be such a strongly bearish? Can anyone say in the live chat that what makes? Thank you for joining here. Welcome. Bearish buy for scalping? No, not buying yet because it's a falling market, guys. Trend is very important. Keep in mind that trend is the most important part when you are trading. Never buy such a falling market. You don't know how much distance it's gonna drop here. It might be that because it's rejecting from an all-time high. So when the market rejects from an all-time high, you don't know that where it is moving, right? So if you look at the daily, it might be suddenly breaking and dropping a lot. So because there is a pure fair value gap here, and that is why when the market in a falling mode, as you can see, it's a fair value gap here, still on a retest here. So chances that the price to drop back below 3853 level is higher. This is what we are looking at the moment, step by step. So once we see the market has managed to break that low, we could see how the market structure creating below that level here, right? So this is what we are looking at. This is the 5-minute chart. Now what we could see in this area now at the moment on the lower time frame to create at least one liquidity sweep. This is the 1-minute chart, and you can see it's breaking that above this 5-minute candle. Would like to see that it's crossing this high here, and if this market managed to break this high here, that's why we're looking to see that selling opportunity in this market. Bearish 4-hour FBG. Yes, this is currently bear market, right? So we see that 4-hour FBG. This is a pure 4-hour FBG. So once the market managed to break above this high, which if the price is going to the 5 minutes resistance line, if this candle, this current one is crossing that high, we might be able to sell. Or after this 5 minutes close, we might see an upside breaking that high to reject back again. Yeah, this is a lower time frame. You can see this is the 1 minute move. Would like to see it's breaking that high, testing this 20 EMA, and then to return again back below. Okay, it's breaking a swing high here. And as we discussed, the 5 minutes high is broken, and we could see that back to back two of them to retest. Now, unless we see that it managed to create a new structure. So it's trying to, you can see after crossing that high, getting that rejection from the 5 minutes, exactly from the level that we expected, breaking that high here. Now for another retest, we might see that the market to fair value gap below, so the possibility for breaking below is higher. So this move that the market structure may but we're going to see that to sell, patience is key. We would like to see that another entry after retest of this high again. highly falling market, which is showing that significantly bearish. And almost there, almost there. So here we might see now another pullback. This is the current level, current resistance line that the market may retest, and that's where you can see that potentially another entry for possible drop, and it's approaching the daily low. That move could be pretty, what say that stronger, depending on how price action is being formed here in that area. So pretty bigger move. Complete break, and if you look at the daily, you can see that it's a purely now bearish. There is a bigger fair value gap, and because it's in a strongly falling market, we are looking at how the price action potentially be showing up in that area. Okay, here is you can see it's currently bigger move in that area that you can see the market is showing up. There may be now possible pullback. There's a crossover of 10 and 20 and we can see the market structure is showing that bearish momentum. and this is the 1 minute chart where the price has crossed that high and building that momentum back below. A lot of drop, a lot more that we can see. It's complete one single drop. What's happening with the gold? Let's see that if there is any difficult news has come out, or we could see the reaction for tomorrow's FOMC. What's happening with DXY? That there is a breakup structure. Now, the news says that Fed could cut earlier even, and that should be bouncing off the gold from the technical perspective. So the data says that the market should be, the XY should be bearish, right? That should go to be bullish. Now this is potentially a pure liquidity graph that we can see, and where we are looking at this market to move back here. Now you can see it is here. There is no support here, right? It's a pure fair value gap. This kind of drop could drive that price even here, right? So this is the previous bigger red candle. The market overextended and could come back to overextend back below here again. And from the daily, it is approaching that fair value gap. So there is no green candle on the 5 minutes, right? Now what we will be waiting here, forming a narrow green candle. If we see that one narrow green candle has formed, we could see that another wave of drop. So this is what on the 1 minute chart that we can look for that entry. Are you guys ready for another entry? We had 2 trades winner. When the market drops, we are ready to enter, but when the market is on a pullback, we will be looking for the next entry. So this is a complete breakdown here from that area. So the 5 minutes level that I'm looking at here is this resistance line, where this is the current 5 minutes resistance. From the 1 minute, it's a falling market. There's no sign of pullback. It's unbelievably lower at the moment. It's a good market for scalping, but we would like to see this, any of this important resistance line has been tested. If we look at the 15 minutes, complete crossover of 10 and 20 EMA, which is a sign of further bearish move here in this market. And dollar yen, with the movement, we can see that dollar yen is also trying to break that high. Yes, tomorrow coming up yen news, so that could be an impact on dollar yen. So this is the 1 minute recent resistance, 3840. If the market is going to hit that level again for another pullback, where gold is potentially be heading, we could see it's coming back to 379, and that means 3800, potentially that level. So if that's the benchmark, then the sell level could be at 3840 or around that area. Okay, this is the 1 minute, and looking to see that this one is going up here. Okay, so you can see that this is absolute bearish market at the moment, and with that movement, are you going to see any pullback here? And this is what I'm waiting to see, 3840 or near there for our next entry. Okay, the 5 minutes candle closed, and we see that, as you mentioned, there is a one narrow doji on the 5 minutes, which is the 15 minutes also here, and there's a massive break below. So this is the current resistance line. We see there is a 1 hour candle close coming, and this 1 hour candle, if we see that it's having a rejection back above before the 1 hour candle close, we might see the market to potentially for another pullback to the upside here. This current level that we can say 3840 is an important level to look at for potential liquidity sweep. Every candle there is a way to look at it's showing that bearish move in that area, and potentially the market to break that low here. And from the daily we see that it's a fully now on a deeper drop. So from the 5 minutes, that if you look at here, you can see the market before the 1 hour close, it's a complete break below. So there is a, if you look at 5 minutes, you can see that a doji formation. Now are you going to see a break of this high here as 1 hour close coming, which is massive drop from this level, and the market structure could still remain bearish. There is a fair value gap. Now after this 1 hour candle close, we might see that on the 15 minutes or on the 5-minute chart, potential liquidity grab here. And that is where there will be possible entry. Yeah, here break of structure is expected now, as the market has made significant moves so far. Okay, some bullish move coming before the 1 hour close, which is a pullback. Now because this is a big drop here, and this is a very important key level that crossed. One possibility that the market to respect this one like this and then to create a bullish channel and the market to continue to rise. The other possibility is to drop back to create a new lower low. Now after this 1 hour candle close, what we will be looking at here, if you look at this is the 15-minute chart for this market to possibly cross any of this key level and to see how they react to those levels. This is the 1 hour candle close that you can see is a massive move here that you can see on the lower time frame, and the pullback also stronger that you can see it's going potentially up here, and this is a full body green candle on the 5-minute chart that you can see, which can be a possible bounce from that level because it's not a weaker candle. It's not a very strong sell candle. this is not only the pullback candle, it could be even a bear candle. Though it is a strongly falling market, the market still could drop back again here. On the 1 minute chart that I'm looking at here to see how this move potentially be bouncing off that level. Okay, so gold, the candle closed here, a narrower red candle, which is could be a downside momentum, or you could see that deeper liquidity sweep here for another I think it started potentially upside bias here. From the 1 hour chart, this is a big long candle, and the weak fill here is possible if we see that there is a stronger rejection from here, from the high. And 1 minute chart, that you can see the market trying to break that low. If we see that potentially possible a double top here, we can sell. Any kind of looking for a double top. Okay, so here is the market showing that possibly to this market to remain bearish, that you can see here with multiple liquidity triggers. So that means the market trend potentially to remain downside here, either to create a double bottom or even to drop down further. If you look at the 5 minutes here, you can see it's a bear market. This is a downtrending market structure. And here, as you can see, the market is, it's a very narrow price section at the moment, and here we'll be looking to see that potential double top. If we see any kind of double top formation here on the lower time frame, we can look for potentially sell. This is the 5 minutes price section, and there's a gap open here. Now 15 minutes price action, that you can see it's a long wick doji. I'm looking at this market here, guys. This is a bearish engulfer, and waiting for this market to potentially trend back down in that area where sort of the price here triggered multiple liquidity grab. And so the 5 minutes candle closed again. We might see little consolidation here. The next level 3840, that if the market retest that price action, that level, we can potentially look for selling opportunity here in this market. And it is a consolidation in that area. Very narrow consolidation. really fascinated by the current move on gold and the possibility for this market to trend in that area as okay, so it is double top, the market slowly breaking that low. This is a fair value gap here, and it's a purely downtrend at the moment. So you can see after this pullback, 4-hour market structure is bearish. This is a pretty massive drop here in that area, and if you guys look at it, you can see this is a 5-minute chart here, creating a 5 minutes doji here in that area, and this is the 1 minute. Are you going to see a new higher high? This is a bear market still, and we have had an extended session, and which is worth. We had 2 successful trade that we have closed in this session. Along with also we see that there is a significant move on gold, and that might lead that market, that gold, to potentially drop back well below. This is the daily market that you can see. Suddenly there was a massive breakdown, and as this market is coming down and there is a liquidity sweep here, we may see this is a, if you look at here, it's a buying here. This is also buying. So back to back 2 daily bullish zone here, which is a pure imbalance in the market, and possible that the market to drop back well below further today to retest this swing low here before it bounce up that zone. So lower time frame market structure is still showing that downward 4-hour chart that you can see here is the support level from the 4-hour perspective. We have seen this is a very premature candle yet. On the 4 hour we still have almost more than 2 hours, nearly to 3 hours for this current candle to close. And what I think that this is potentially a pure liquidity grab. This candle either come back well below and immediately go back up to close as a bull candle, or we might see that closing around here and then the next one to return. At this moment, as you can see, it's maintaining purely a downtrending market structure. This is a purely downtrend, and in the downtrend the only thing that we can look for is to sell whenever it is coming in our zone. To TP2 3805. Welcome. No scalping, no buying, no buying, guys. This is a very falling market. So in this market only to sell. So we are looking, if you look at here, you can see any move that you can see with the green candle is basically pullback. So this market, the way it is dropping, it might take little time to reverse. We need to see a higher time frame candle close for any kind of reversal. That means 4 hour. It's a falling market, it's a bear market, so only thing that you can look for in this market is to sell whenever it comes down to the entry. The 5 minutes price action that you can see, the candle close, and then it's showing that another bearish price action here. So 3836 is a resistance line that what we are looking at here is to break this trend line. It's a curved trend line, and then to return back below. In this market only we will be looking to sell, as this is a falling market. Okay, so it's trying to create the price action that is potentially stronger liquidity grab here, and so breaking that high at 3836 is an important level. Are you going to see that break 3836? Breaking 3836 could be a good entry for us to see that the market to potentially come down here in this level. This could be the third trade, but would like to see first this market. We can see the 5-minute candle closing in 25 seconds. So, and just looking at here to break this high. Now, if the market get rejected, we see that it has broken above and now we will look for possible selling if the price shows that rejection from the higher price. And there's 30 minutes that you can see the price in fact showing that there is little bit of slowdown in that area, and that slowdown is possibly to have a short-term bounce, and okay, so are you going to see a double top here? You can see the market structure is pretty interesting that it has created. Here is the market structure from the 15 minutes after this doji. It's still maintaining that downtrending market structure here in that area. So now I'm impressed with the fact that this market potentially to be bearish further, so we are not looking to go any kind of bullish trade. If you look at the 1 hour after this candle close, is still showing that downtrend, so you might see that looking at here. And to get an entry, there is a significant break below and waiting for suitable price action confirmation. We have seen there is a, this is also a liquidity sweep here with this, from this structure has broken above, and the market may potentially trend in that way. It's a pretty sharp bearish market. We'll be waiting for a very stronger liquidity trigger, and then we can look for that entry. And this is one of the best live this week there, guys. We have secured 2 important trade, and also coming up few more later. We have done an extended session, and we would like to thank you for all of you guys being here watching the live session. And as the market is falling, we will be waiting for again another important area for selling. This is a selling market, so we'll keep selling until the market reverses. That being said, another live coming tomorrow. 2 of them, both of them, I would encourage you to watch both the lives that coming up tomorrow is NFP. And during the NFP also there will be exclusive giveaways, so don't miss out that NFP session, both of them coming up tomorrow. Until that, thank you for joining. I'll see you there again, trading live together.